Success as an ACN independent business owner, IBO, is not guaranteed, but rather influenced by an individual's specific efforts. No one can be guaranteed success as an IBO. This presentation was recorded during the Adelaide International event, 9th to 11th of March 2018. This presentation may contain information regarding the ACN compensation plan, promotions and product pricing, which has changed since the date of the recording. Views expressed and any claims or comparisons made by IBOs presenting are theirs and not ACN's. Please check acnpacific.com and IBO back office for up-to-date information.
When we started ACN, and I'm going way back, we had a little bit of experience, and I'm going to tell you guys a story at the end of my training, but we had a little bit of experience that was a little different than a lot of people. So what we did is when we built the business, we had ingrained into our new people and leaders the importance of what we called the ACN system. And I'm going to go over that in just a minute. But what we did is we ingrained it to them to where it was in the blueprint of their nature of how they built a business. Going to an international event wasn't something that you thought about. It wasn't something that you hoped for. It was a must. It was an absolute 100% must. The day you signed up in ACN was the day you were committing to the international convention. The two went together. There was no ifs, ands, buts about it. End of story. It was talked about at every single meeting. We did things differently. We developed our team with that mindset. Okay, now, by the way, can you guys do me a favor? Look at your watch. Okay, look at your watch, and I want you to memorize what time it is right now. You got it? Tell me when you got it. Okay, so here, let me start the training. Okay, let's talk about this. The importance of promoting events. Okay, why do we teach people to promote events? Because events build successful teams. Why? Because when people or new IBOs go to events, that's where they're going to get the highest level of training. That's where through just testimonials, they'll be inspired to set goals for themselves they may have not set previous to that event. It motivates them to take action through a number of reasons. We recognize achievement where some people have never been recognized in their entire life. It builds a vision that one can't build on their own, but once they come to an event, they now see something they didn't see once before. But most important, it builds belief, not only in the company, not only in the industry, but in themselves. So a good leader understands that your strategy is to promote your team to go through the ACN system, because the ACN system is something that you don't have to reinvent. It's already been put together for you. But here's the big question mark. What is the ACN system? A lot of people think the ACN system is a BOM, like how somebody does a BOM. That's not the ACN system. The ACN system is a series of essential events. Okay? IBOs must attend all the events that you see on the screen to be fully enrolled in ACN, and the key word is enrolled. I'm going to come back to that. Now, obviously, everyone's got to start off to see their first presentation. That's a BOM, which leads to a quick start training, which is nothing more than just, hey, here's your game plan over the next 7 days. Then that leads to a Saturday or a Sunday training, which teaches them how to become an ETT or an ETL, which gets them to a regional that should teach them how to become a team coordinator or higher, which eventually leads to an international convention. But it's not till somebody's been through all these steps will they be fully enrolled in the business. Now, being enrolled is something leaders understand very well, because enrolling people leads to full duplication. Anything less than that will not. Recruiting people is instant. Anybody can recruit, but enrolling people is a process. Here's the difference. When you recruit somebody, they're just in ACN. When you enroll somebody, ACN is in them. All roads from the BOM lead to the international convention. You are not in ACN till you have been to an ACN international convention. Stop. Look at your watch. How long did that take me? How long? Say it again. Say it again. Okay, I just did a promoting events training. Okay, I did a promoting events training in 3 minutes. And if you're not talking about this at every Saturday training, you are missing the boat. I've come to the conclusion that people don't talk about this stuff. I come to the conclusion that people don't realize there's multiple steps in the business and that you're not in ACN until you go through all the steps. See, it's like anything else. When you enter kindergarten or you go to the first grade, you know from the very beginning you're not going to graduate from high school until you get out of 12th grade. Is that the same here in Australia, 12 grades? Okay. I mean, there's a process. Most people know if they want a bachelor's degree, it's going to take 4 years of education. They understand how many points they're going to have to get within their college. I mean, you have to know the end from the beginning. You just can't bring people into a business and just say, I hope they go, but never talk about it, never tell them about the ACN system. It's never going to happen, okay? And I'm going to share something with you, okay? What I just covered is not enough. It's not enough, okay? What I'm doing there is I showed you how any one of you can do a quick start, where you can do a promoting events training by bringing awareness to every single person every single week that they've got to go through all those steps. Because it's going to create what? Curiosity. They're going to ask questions, but it's not enough to just tell them what to do. You've got to tell stories. I would actually do a training just like that, and if I was promoting for an international event, I would already have 3 people lined up to give me a testimonial. 3 people. And not only would I have them give a testimonial, I'd have prepped them. I'd say, you talk over 1 minute, you're never doing another testimonial again. Okay? You go into a training, you're never doing a testimonial again. Okay? What is a testimonial? It's a story of how an event affected you. Now, you don't need somebody else to do it. You can tell your own story. You could tell your upline story. You could tell your downline story. You could tell your sideline story. Okay? But it's great to have other people tell their story of how an event affected them. Because just telling somebody the importance of an event is not enough. Telling somebody about an event is one part of it. Right? But the testimonials is what really seals the deal. Now, one of the things that hit me, the reason I wanted to explain this to you is those slides I just presented to you, I'm putting them in the back office. You guys can have them. Okay, you guys use them, but you can modify them too. I told them, I go, put the PowerPoint together, so if you guys want to manipulate them, do whatever you want. We don't care. But if you're not taking a segment of your Saturday trainings or Sunday trainings where you're actually talking about the ACN system, bringing awareness to people, then of course you're never going to get pre-registrations up. You're not going to get people to understand the value of going to the international events. But if I could do it in 3 minutes, 3 minutes, could you do it in 10? Yes or no? Come on, yeah. Could you do it in 12 minutes? You could do it in 12 minutes at the end of an event, and within 12 minutes you can combine 1, 2, or 3 testimonials. You could do it easily. But if you as a leader aren't initiating this, it's never going to happen. Now let's go to the next. Let's talk about promoting, because a lot of people don't know how to promote. So I figured I'm going to go into how to promote. Let's talk about it. Okay? There are steps to promoting. Now I'm going to teach this to you, but I want you to listen to what I'm saying. Ingrain it into your psychology, because if you're not doing this every day, then you're not going to be good at this business. Okay? Okay. You can't expect that people are just going to know what to do. You just can't expect it. You have to tell people to do. What do you need to tell them? Everything, all the time, every day. Never let somebody walk away from you without you telling them what the next step is. But if you tell somebody what to do, you have to tell them why to do it. I can't say go to Saturday training and then walk away. I have to say, you've got to go to Saturday training. Here's why you need to go to Saturday training. So you tell them what to do, then you've got to tell them why to do it. Now, when you say why, you're building value. You're building value. You're not devaluing it. Hey, you got to go to Saturday, but yeah, I don't really want to go either. I'd rather be doing something else on Saturday, and I'm just going because my upline's making me go. I mean, I don't want to devalue it. You got to build up the value. Hey, you've got to be there Saturday, or you've got to be there Sunday. Let me tell you why. Boom, 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 boom. You give all the reasons why, right? And then step 3 in promoting is you got to create what we call fear of loss. Fear of loss is nothing more than building value, but you just explain it the opposite way, right? You show somebody what they have to lose by not taking action versus telling them what they have to gain by taking action. So I always say build the value, then create a little fear of loss. Hey, trust me, if you don't go this Saturday, you're going to be a whole week behind. That's the same thing as saying if you go there this Saturday, you're going to be a week ahead. Okay? So, hey, by the way, you want to go there because you're going to be a week ahead. But listen, if you don't go, you're going to be a week behind. I just built value and did fear of loss on the same time. So tell people what they have to gain, build value, then create a little fear of loss. And then number 4, and I already mentioned, is testimonials. Testimonials, 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 third party, yours, testimonials, stories, stories, stories. And by the way, I would use stories for anything that I wanted to get through to somebody. No matter what I want to get through to somebody, I'm going to use stories. Those are the 4 steps at promoting. How many of you could do those 4 steps? Okay. Now let me tell you why this is important. The reason why I said steps to promote and not steps to promote an international convention is because promoting is something we're always doing. You're not going to have people at an international convention if you can't promote people to go to a Saturday training. If you can't get people from a Saturday training to go bring more people to the next BOM because you're not good at promoting, then you're not going to have more people at the next Saturday training, which means you're not going to have people at the regional, which means you're not going to have people at an international event. Promoting is something we do every single day with every single person we're talking to. But here's something that's interesting. Every person that you're working with is in a different stage. Right? Some people you're just getting them into the BOM for the very first time. So I might only be promoting the next step for them is just, hey, let me meet with you with a cup of coffee tomorrow because I want to just give you a real quick start game plan, before we go into Saturday. I'm just going to tell you what I think you should do. Okay? Or I might have been done with my quick start with some person and I say, listen, I want to get you there on Saturday, but listen, don't go alone. Let's see if I can talk to a couple people between now and then with you, and then maybe you can go there with 2 or 3 people and already have your business up and running. See, it's always another step. But if you don't promote what that next step is, then that person just dies on the vine immediately. There's nothing left. They just do nothing. Promoting, defined by Mike Cupiz, is called goal setting for others because they won't set their own goal. So I will set everybody's goal for them because I know they don't know what to do, so they don't know how to set a goal, so I'm going to set it for them. Here's the next step. Okay? So promoting is something we're doing all the time. So always promote the next step. Okay? I also, this is something I agree with probably more than anything else, is I would promote the convention at every training session. I'd promote the convention probably almost at every meeting. But when I say promote, don't think you've got to do this whole long training every time you want to talk about an international convention. You can promote through what we call little plugs. Little plugs, all right? Like, you ever see a talk show and some celebrities being interviewed and all of a sudden they mention a website, right? That's a plug. And they might even get, the person who's actually hosting might say, oh, nice, you got a little plug in there. Oh yeah, I just had to plug my product. A plug is sometimes you're just mentioning something. You don't have to do a long training on it. But we used to teach our people, because this was, again, it was ingrained in us, right? This is what we believed. Because we knew that every single week, every single month mattered to the next big event because we were going to pack that big event. So we took every opportune moment. If we had 100 people in the room, if I had 10 people in the room, if I had 1,000 people in the room, I said, this is my opportunity to plug the big event. So I don't care who's doing the training. If I'm doing the training, I'm going to say something like this. I'm going to say, listen, I'm going to talk to you guys about customer acquisition, but before I actually get into it, let me tell you where I learned it from. This guy named Doug Juru, he was on stage at the last international event. And by the way, that last international event completely transformed my business. If it wasn't for that event, I wouldn't be standing here right now. But let me tell you what I learned at that event that just blew my mind. I'm going to cover some steps with you right now, but it's going to be literally transform your business. And that's all I have to say. I plugged the international event. What if everyone that did recruiting plugged the international event? What if everybody talked about the compensation plan, plugged the international event? What if every time somebody did a BOM, somehow they slipped in a plug for the international event? What would happen is you'd have people wanting to go. It causes attraction, not at the last 4 weeks or the last 3 weeks because you're all emotional, because I didn't get enough people to go, so now my emotion is kind of elevated to an anxiety level, and through anxiety, I'm going to force a few people to go because I waited the last minute to promote because I didn't do a good job through the last 6 months. Do you guys understand the difference? Anybody who's emotional about anything can move people at any time. Okay, that's what emotion does. It moves people. But are you moving people through anxiety? Are you moving people through your own personal fear of loss because of lack? Are you moving people the wrong way, or are you moving people the right way, taking advantage of the most powerful tool that ACN has ever created at raising people's belief, vision, training, motivation, inspiration, vision? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? The greatest tool that we've ever created, and we're going to wait for the last 2 to 3 weeks to talk about it? Does that make any logical sense to you guys whatsoever? Yes or no? No, because we understand its value. That means I'm talking to somebody Tuesday, and I'm not talking about next, I'm talking about Tuesday coming up. Because, this event is going to come to an end on Sunday, and you're going to be working on Monday. On Tuesday, some of you are going to be recruiting somebody new. On Tuesday, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Say it again. You know why we're talking about Melbourne? Why are we talking about Melbourne? Because Adelaide does not exist anymore. The only thing that matters is what? So if I'm recruiting somebody on Tuesday, guess what I'm talking about? Do I want them to go? No, they gotta go. I don't want them to go. They gotta go. Why? Because if they don't go, then they're going to miss out on one of the greatest opportunities in ACN history. They're going to miss out on understanding the real value of what this business is all about. They're not going to be just, they're just going to be in ACN. ACN will never be in them. I want an army of people that are going to be such a high level in this business that no one will be able to compete with the production that I can deliver, because I'm the smartest person in the room, because I can promote events better than anybody else. I am telling you folks, that's the key to this business, filling seats. Now, look, there's nothing the co-founders can do to help you understand what I just shared with you today. There's nothing we can do. There's only your understanding of it or not understanding of it. There's only your daily action. There's nothing else we can do. Thank you very much.